Okay, today we're going to take a look at the first issue of the Back to the Future Delorean kit. The kit is, as I'm sure you're aware, really good quality. Everybody on the internet is agreed it's a very, very good quality kit. It's well worth the money. It is going to be 130 weeks. It's going to take quite a while to build the thing, but from what I've seen of the first issue, the quality of the kit is fantastic. Now, I don't want to dwell too much on the assembly, because the assembly of the first stage of the kit is really pretty easy. There's nothing complicated in there. One thing I will mention is there were some pre-production versions of the kit sent out as samples to people. I think mainly people in the US got the pre-production samples, and the early version of the first issue had both backlights in it, and as you can see, this is the European version, and it's only got the right hand backlight included, whereas the US version had both backlights and you had a complete front end. And the version we're getting here in England only has one backlight, so there's a little difference, a little cost-cutting thing perhaps. What you end up with is this. It's heavy too, you know. That part of the bodywork is cast metal. The paintwork finish is superb. The finish on the backlights is brilliant. Some people have criticised the backlights and saying that they don't sit properly. Well, all I can say is if you push them in properly, they fit. Because I'm very, very pleased with the way that those have lined up. Another thing I've noticed is that the early version of the kit only had a couple of holes here and here for the LEDs which are going to illuminate the rear light clusters, and obviously on this modern version you see there's loads and loads of holes here, and I think ultimately that's so that the side lights, brake lights, reversing lights and indicators, they can all be lit up separately, and if you look, there's a separate hole for each. So I would imagine that at some point there's going to be a PCB included that will go the full length of the back of the car and light up all the backlights individually, which is going to look great. If you've not bought one, buy one. Simple as that. In fact, I'd say buy two, because it will give you some spare parts and some spare screws and a spare screwdriver as well. And for $1.99 it's a bargain. I know it's only the first edition, but it's still a bargain. There's a couple of mistakes which people are making, and I made the same mistake the first time. The first thing is the tags on the number plate, these little holograms here and here. Now one says August and I think one says 1986. Now in the kit you actually get two. Yeah, don't put both of them on, okay, because it just looks a mess. It should just say August on one side and 1986 on the other. Okay, so don't put both stickers on, they're just giving you a spare one. The other mistake I've made, which is it's very tempting to do it, is I have screwed down the number plate assembly. There's two of the smaller screws there that hold the number plate assembly in place. You're not supposed to screw that in place until the other lamp cluster has arrived, so I'm going to have to undo that again so I can fit the lights on that side. But that's only a minor mistake, and that's my own fault for jumping ahead on the instructions, because if you read the book, the instructions don't tell you to screw this bit in place yet. And I think you want to see what it looks like when it's all finished, don't you? So you want to screw as much of it together as possible, but if you want to do it correctly, don't screw the number plate bracket on just yet until the other backlights have arrived. The second edition of the kit that I've seen for the American market is just the front wing, or the front fender as you'd say, and a few odds and ends. But I think with the English version of the kit, the left hand light is also included. So by the time you get your second edition, you'll not only have the front wing, but you'll have the a complete back end. And I'll tell you what I'm dying to do, get some LEDs and just wire them up and just put them behind this thing and see what it looks like when it's lit up, because I think it's going to look pretty good. So that's it. I think that the quality of this kit is fantastic. Everybody's agreed on that. The finish on the bumper looks authentic, the finish on the paint looks great. These backlights look great as well. There's just a little thing with the rear reflector, which is that one and that one. There's a little bit of writing, and that's got to go in the top right, but I'm sure you're all aware of that. And I think this is going to make a fantastic model. And the packaging is very good as well. But do be aware that if you're familiar with the pre-production version, I think they did the first 4 editions and they sent them out just as a test run to see if people would like the kit. They are slightly different to the ones which are being issued now, but they're still very good quality, and I think it's going to be a smashing model, and I can't wait for the second edition. So there we have it. That's issue 1 of the Delorean kit. Thanks for watching, and we'll pick it up when part 2 arrives.